Hello friends, this is Evin. Welcome to my channel Evin Tricks. This is the fourth video on haloalkanes and haloarenes. In this video, we are going to learn the methods of preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes, that is alkyl halides and aryl halides with mechanism. And the best part of this video is I'm going to explain you what is the role of each and every reagent in the reactions. Here we go. Methods of preparation of monohaloalkanes, that is alkyl halides, RX. We can prepare alkyl halides, that is monohaloalkanes, from alcohols. We can also prepare haloalkanes starting from alkanes, alkenes, alkynes and ethers, carboxylic acids and amines. Starting from these reactants, using different reagents, we can convert alcohols into alkyl halides, alkanes, alkenes, alkynes into alkyl halides, and ethers, carboxylic acid, amines into alkyl halides. How we are going to convert all these things into alkyl halides and which reagents we are going to use in every case, we are going to study in detail. First, we start with preparation of alkyl halides from alcohols. Preparation of alkyl chlorides from alcohols. When alcohols react with HCl in presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, this is anhydrous zinc chloride, we get alkyl chloride plus water. Here OH group and hydrogen, they are eliminated in the form of H2O, and the mixture of anhydrous zinc chloride and HCl is called as Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent. If you see this reaction, there is the reaction between alcohol and HCl molecule which gives alkyl chloride and water. Then question arises, what is the main role of anhydrous zinc chloride in this reaction? The main function or main role of anhydrous zinc chloride is to make the ROH bond weak, and it helps to break the ROH bond, and it makes anhydrous zinc chloride makes the OH group as better leaving group. OH combines with H plus of HCl and it forms water, and Cl minus will form the bond with alkyl group and we get alkyl chloride. Let us take one example. Now I take one example, that is primary alcohol when it is reacted with Lucas reagent, anhydrous zinc chloride, we get product CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Now second example, now I take the secondary alcohol. What is secondary alcohol? The OH group is attached to secondary carbon atom. What is secondary carbon atom? The carbon atom which is attached to two other carbon atoms is known as secondary carbon atom. Now, when it is reacted with Lucas reagent, HCl and anhydrous zinc chloride, we get isopropyl chloride or 2-chloropropane. Now I take tertiary alcohol. I take tertiary butyl alcohol. When we take tertiary alcohol, simply we add HCl, we get product, that is tertiary butyl chloride. If you compare these three reactions, primary alcohol requires Lucas reagent, secondary alcohols also require Lucas reagent, but tertiary alcohols do not require Lucas reagent. What is the reason for this? The reason is tertiary alcohols are more reactive than secondary than primary alcohols. Therefore, tertiary alcohols do not require Lucas reagent to form the alkyl halides. Reactivity order of alcohols towards halo acid is, that is, with halo acid means HX, is tertiary alcohols are more reactive than secondary alcohols than primary alcohols. This means if we take tertiary alcohol, secondary alcohol and primary alcohol in three different test tubes, and if we add HCl, tertiary alcohol, immediately it gives product, then secondary alcohol, then primary alcohols. This is the reactivity order of alcohols towards halo acids. Now, preparation of alkyl bromides from alcohols. When alcohols are heated with potassium bromide, KBr, we can also use sodium bromide as well, plus sulfuric acid, H2SO4. When it is heated, we get product alkyl bromide plus KHSO4 potassium hydrogen sulfate plus H2O. How this reaction take place? I will explain you the mechanism. In first step, potassium bromide reacts with sulfuric acid, gives potassium hydrogen sulfate plus HBr. In the first step, HBr is generated. This HBr reacts with alcohol. We get alkyl bromide plus water. If we write overall reaction, this HBr, if we take it to right side, that will become negative. That means this hydrogen bromide and this will get cancelled. So what is the overall reaction? Net reaction is alcohol plus potassium bromide plus sulfuric acid. Heat it, we get alkyl bromide plus potassium hydrogen sulfate plus water. Suppose if we want methyl bromide, then we have to use methyl alcohol. If we want ethyl bromide, here we have to use ethyl alcohol. In the examination, they may ask you question, how do you convert ethyl alcohol into ethyl bromide? Or how do you convert isopropyl alcohol into isopropyl bromide? So according to question, we have to take here the respective alkyl group in the alcohol. Okay? See here, in the preparation of alkyl bromides, we have made use of sulfuric acid. Now we are going to prepare alkyl iodides from alcohols. Now preparation of alkyl iodides from alcohols. When alcohols are boiled with potassium iodide or sodium iodide in presence of 95% phosphoric acid H3PO4, we get alkyl iodide plus KH2PO4 plus H2O. Now we will see how this reaction take place. In first step, potassium iodide reacts with phosphoric acid H3PO4 and it produces hydrogen iodide. Once hydrogen iodide is formed, that reacts with alcohol. In second step, here we get alkyl iodide plus water. The overall reaction is hydrogen iodide, they get cancelled. We get ROH plus potassium iodide and H3PO4. We get alkyl iodide plus KH2PO4 plus water. In this way, we can prepare the alkyl iodides by using potassium iodide or sodium iodide with 95% of phosphoric acid. The question arises, we had used the sulfuric acid when we prepared the alkyl bromides. Here we have used phosphoric acid instead of sulfuric acid. Why we use phosphoric acid? Why we use phosphoric acid in the preparation of alkyl iodide instead of sulfuric acid? The reason is, if we use sulfuric acid, H2SO4, if we use, that H2SO4 will react with Hi and Hi is oxidized by sulfuric acid. Therefore, Hi will not available in the reaction if we use sulfuric acid in this reaction. Therefore, we do not use the sulfuric acid. Instead of sulfuric acid, we use H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid. The reason you got? You got the reason why we use here phosphoric acid instead of H2SO4? If we use H2SO4 here, that will oxidize the hydrogen iodide formed during the reaction. Therefore, Hi will not available for reacting with alcohol. Therefore, in order to avoid this, instead of sulfuric acid, we use phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid will not react with Hi. Therefore, this Hi, hydrogen iodide generated during the reaction, that is available to react with alcohol, so that we can get alkyl iodides. In the theory examination or in the board examination, if you are asked how do you convert methyl alcohol into methyl iodide, then you have to use here CH3OH. If you are asked how do you convert ethyl alcohol into ethyl iodide, you have to use CH3CH2OH here. If you are asked how do you convert isopropyl alcohol into isopropyl iodide, you have to use here isopropyl alcohol, that is CH3CHOH CH3. According to requirement, you have to use here alkyl group in the alcohol. Now, preparation of alkyl chlorides and alkyl bromides from alcohols by using PCl3 and PBr3, that is phosphorus trichloride and phosphorus tribromide. When alcohol is reacted with phosphorus trichloride, as you see here, each chlorine atom replaces one hydroxyl group. As there are 3 chlorine atoms, so we have to take 3 molecules of alcohol. So we get here RCl, 3 molecules of alkyl chloride plus H3PO3, phosphorus acid. Let us prepare alkyl bromides by using alcohol. PBr3, phosphorus tribromide, as each bromine atom replaces one hydroxyl group. There are 3 bromine atoms, so we have to take 3 molecules of alcohol. Now we get 3 molecules of alkyl bromide plus H3PO3. This phosphorus tribromide and phosphorus triiodides, they are prepared in the C2. They are prepared in the C2. C2 means they are produced during the reaction when red phosphorus reacts with bromine and iodine respectively. You may come across such questions. What is the action of PCl3 on ethanol? As we know that there are 3 halogen atoms, so we have to take 3 molecules of ethanol. We get 3 molecules of ethyl chloride plus H3PO3. Now, by using phosphorus pentachloride, when alcohols react with phosphorus pentachloride, we get alkyl chloride plus HCl plus POCl3, phosphoryl chloride. Let us take one example. I take butanol, that is butyl alcohol. When it is reacted with phosphorus pentachloride, we get we get 1-chlorobutane and HCl and POCl3. The best method to prepare alkyl chloride from alcohol is by using thionyl chloride. Why it is the best method? I'll explain you. When alcohols are reacted with thionyl chloride, SOCl2, this is called as thionyl chloride, we get alkyl chloride and sulfur dioxide gas plus HCl. In this reaction, sulfur dioxide and HCl, they are in the gaseous form and they escape into the atmosphere, leaving behind the pure alkyl chloride. So this is the best method to prepare the alkyl halides. That is, by using thionyl chloride, we get pure form of alkyl halides. This reaction is also known as Darzan's reaction. Sometimes we call this reaction as Darzan reaction. Very important note we have to see here. If the OH group is present on chiral carbon, see, like this. If OH group is present on asymmetric carbon atom, that is chiral carbon atom. What is chiral carbon atom? The carbon atom which is attached to 4 different atoms or group of atoms. This carbon atom is asymmetric carbon atom, that is chiral carbon atom. When OH group is attached to chiral carbon atom, if we carry out the reaction with thionyl chloride, optical inversion take place, that is also called as Walden inversion, and this Walden inversion take place in presence of pyridine, and the reaction follows the SN2 reaction path. That means if you observe here, OH group is at right side, and we expect that the halogen chlorine should come at right side, but the chlorine comes at left side. This is called as optical inversion. This is also known as Walden inversion. Up to now, we have seen that preparation of alkyl halides starting from alcohols. In every reaction, the carbon and the OH bond is broken, and in the position of hydroxyl group, halogen atom is substituted. Can we apply same method to prepare the aryl halides from phenols? Because that also has the carbon and OH group. Can we apply all these reagents to prepare the aryl halides like this? The answer is no. We cannot use all these methods to convert the phenol into aryl halide. The reason is the carbon and OH bond in the reason is the carbon and OH bond in phenol is strong, and it has slightly double bond character due to resonance. Therefore, it is difficult to break the carbon and OH bond in case of phenol, but it is easy to break the carbon and OH bond in alcohols. Therefore, by using all these reagents, we cannot convert phenol into aryl halides. We have different methods to prepare the aryl halides that we are going to see later. We can prepare alkyl halides by using alkanes. When alkanes, for example, methane is reacted with chlorine in presence of UV light, the reaction takes place according to free radical mechanism, and we get the mixture of mono-substituted and poly-substituted haloalkanes. We get a mixture of mono and poly-substituted alkanes. Therefore, this method of preparation of haloalkane is not suitable method to get the particular haloalkane, because when methane is reacted with chlorine, we get chloromethane, dichloromethane, trichloromethane and tetrachloromethane, and we also know that CHCl3 trichloromethane is also known as chloroform, and this is known as carbon tetrachloride. We get a mixture of the mono and poly haloalkanes, which is very difficult to separate. Therefore, this method is not preferable. Let us take another example. Butane reacts with chlorine in presence of UV light. We get two products, that is CH3, CH2, 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 Cl. This is 1-chlorobutane. This is minor product. And we also get CH3, CH2, CH, Cl, CH3. This is major product. Why this is minor product? Why that is major product? 1-chlorobutane is primary because the halogen atom is attached to primary carbon atom, and 2-chlorobutane, here the halogen atom is attached to secondary carbon atom. We know that the secondary carbon atoms are more stable than primary carbon atoms, and tertiary carbon atom is most stable, as the secondary carbons are more stable than primary carbon atoms. So this is major product and this is minor product. Now let us take one very important question, that is identify all possible monochlorostructural isomers formed by free radical monochlorination of CH3 twice CH, CH2, CH3. We have to write all possible monochloro substituted products and their names in this question. To solve this question, let us write first the given formula in a simplified form, that is CH3 CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. I write this in bond line formula. It is like this. We have to find how many different types of hydrogen atoms are present in the molecules. If you see the structure, there are 4 different types of hydrogen atoms present in this molecule. And replacement of this hydrogen atom by chlorine, we get the compound like this, one isomer like this. What is the name of this molecule? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the name? 1-chloro, 1-chloro, 2-methyl, 2-methyl, butane. When this hydrogen atom is replaced, we get a molecule like this. Chlorine is present here. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The name of the compound is 2-chloro, 2-methyl, butane. Now third, when the halogen atom is substituted here, Cl. Now we have to count the carbon atoms from this end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore 2-chloro, 3-methyl, butane. Now lastly, when halogen is substituted here, we get a compound like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1-chloro, 3-methyl, butane. These are the 4 possible isomers when CH3 twice CH, CH2, CH3 is subjected for free radical monochlorination reaction. Now the third method of preparation of alkyl halides from alkenes by addition of hydrogen halide. This is electrophilic addition reaction. What is the meaning of electrophilic addition reaction? You can understand here. Here we have used hydrogen halide. Halogen carries negative charge and hydrogen is positive charge. Therefore, when we react the alkenes with hydrogen halide, the negative part of the reagent goes to that carbon atom which carries less number of hydrogen atom, and the positive part will go to that carbon which carries more number of hydrogen atom. This rule is known as Markovnikh rule. In short, we call it as MR rule, and it is called as Markovnikh rule. And we get the product CH3, CH2, CH. Here negative part of the reagent halogen comes here, and double bond will convert to single bond, and here we get CH3. For example, if I take CH3, CH2, CH, double bond, CH2, and if I use here HBr, hydrogen bromide, Br is negative and hydrogen is positive. According to MR rule, that is Markovnikh rule, negative part will go to that carbon which carries less number of hydrogen atom. Therefore, we get CH3, CH2, CH, Br and CH3, that is 2-bromobutane, 2-bromobutane. Now let us take one very interesting reaction. Again I take that is but1ene. This time I react with HBr in presence of peroxide. Now the reaction take place according to anti-Markovnikh rule. Anti-Markovnikh rule. What is anti-Markovnikh rule? The negative part of the reagent will go to that carbon which carries more number of hydrogen atom. This is called as anti-Markovnikh rule. Once again I repeat, the negative part of the reagent goes to that carbon atom which carries more number of hydrogen atoms in presence of peroxide. This is called as anti-Markovnikh rule. Anti-Markovnikh rule is observed only and only when there is hydrogen bromide and peroxide. If we take HCl and if we use peroxide, anti-Markovnikh rule will not take place. If we take here hydrogen iodide and peroxide, anti-Markovnikh rule will not take place. Anti-Markovnikh rule hold good only for hydrogen bromide. Most of the students, they get confusion that when we use peroxide, if here HCl, they think that peroxide is present and anti-Markovnikh rule may take place. But they forget that anti-Markovnikh rule hold good only when there is HBr and peroxide. The product is CH3, CH2, CH. Now the hydrogen atom goes to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen, and the negative part will go to that carbon which has more number of hydrogen. Therefore we get here 1-bromobutane. See here, let us compare these two. Here the same reactant 1-butene is used, here also 1-butene is used. Here we have used only HBr. Therefore the reaction has taken place according to Markovnikh rule. What is Markovnikh rule? The negative part of the reagent goes to that carbon which carries less number of hydrogen atoms. So the bromine has gone to this carbon atom. So we have got 2-bromobutane. When we use HBr and also peroxide effect take place. Anti-Markovnikh rule holds good. Anti-Markovnikh rule means what? The negative part of the reagent goes to that carbon which carries more number of hydrogen. You compare here. Here CH is there, here CH2. More number of hydrogens are present here. Therefore, according to anti-Markovnikh rule, Br will attach to this CH2. So we get 1-bromobutane. And peroxide effect is observed only when there is HBr. Instead of HBr, if there is HCl or HI, and even if you use peroxide effect will not dominant, or anti-Markovnikh rule will not take place. According to Markovnikh rule only the reaction take place. If we use here HCl and HI, even if we use peroxide effect is not observed. Peroxide effect is observed only for HBr and peroxide. Now let us take one question. Write the product. This reacts with HI. We get A. What is A? We have to find out. This is cyclohexene, and here carbon carbon double bond is there, and we are adding the reagent HI. Negative part is iodine and positive part is H plus. Electrophilic addition take place. Electrophilic addition take place according to Markovnikh rule. So here there is only carbon is present, here CH is present. So if we compare, here CH is there, here carbon is there, less number of hydrogen are present at this carbon atom, therefore negative part will go to this carbon and positive part will go to this hydrogen. Negative part will go to this carbon and hydrogen will go to this CH. So we get the product like this, CH3 and iodine. This is the answer. The reaction has taken place according to Markovnikh rule. Now let us see addition of halogen to alkenes. When ethene is added with bromine, bromine is reddish brown in color. In presence of carbon tetrachloride, two bromine atoms are added across the double bond, we get vicinal dihalide. What are vicinal dihalides? Vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides are nothing but when two same halogen atoms are present on adjacent carbon atoms, they are called as vicinal dihalides. What is the IUPAC name? 1, 2. Longest chain having two carbon atoms, and they have bromine as the substituent. 1, 2 dibromo ethane. The chain is of two carbon atom, therefore it is ethane. Therefore, when bromine is added to alkenes, the reddish brown color of bromine disappears and we get the product which is colorless. In this reaction, bromine has reddish brown color, and when it is added to the unsaturated hydrocarbons such as alkenes, the vicinal dihalides are formed and which are colorless. Therefore, this reaction is used to detect the presence of double bond in the molecule. If we have a compound and if we add bromine to that compound, if the reddish brown color of the bromine disappears, that indicates the presence of double bond. This indicates the presence of unsaturation. Therefore, bromine water test is used to find the presence of multiple bonds in the molecule. Now let us consider one more example. This is called as cis but 2-ene. Why we call it as cis but 2-ene? When similar groups are present at one side, it is called as cis. Therefore, this butene is called as cis butene. You can see here H are present at same side. Therefore, it is called as cis but 2-ene. When it is reacted with bromine water, the reddish brown color of this bromine disappears and we get two products. I write the longest chain like this, CH3, this carbon, carbon, CH3, and in first product we get bromine at right side and bromine here at left side. This is one product, and another product I write here. In this product, the bromine is present at left side and here at right side. So we get a mixture of these two. This mixture is called as racemic mixture. What is racemic mixture? Racemic mixtures are optically inactive. We are going to learn about racemic mixture later. Now consider trans-butene. Trans means similar groups, they are present at opposite side. See here, hydrogen, hydrogen, they are similar atoms, they are present at the opposite side of the double bond. Therefore, this is called as trans-butene. If we react this trans-butene with bromine water, we get only one product. I write that product here, CH3, 4 carbon atoms I have written, and both the bromine atoms, they attached at the same side. This is called as meso compound. Meso compound means they have plane of symmetry. Suppose if you draw a line here and if you see upper part and lower part of the molecule, they exactly match with one another. If you fold here and if you fold the molecule, this CH3 will coincide with this CH3, Br will coincide with Br, and H will coincide with this H. Therefore, such molecules, they are called as meso compounds. Now let us learn bromine water test to detect the presence of carbon-carbon double bond and carbon-carbon triple bond. What is bromine water test? Addition of bromine in CCl4, that is carbon tetrachloride, to alkene or alkynes results in the discharge or disappearance of the reddish brown color of the bromine, indicating that presence of unsaturation in the molecule. In this way, we can detect the presence of double bond and triple bond in the molecule by using bromine water, that is bromine in carbon tetrachloride. That is alkenes, that is carbon-carbon double bond compounds, and alkynes, that is carbon-carbon triple bond compounds, hydrocarbons. If we add bromine in carbon tetrachloride, bromine has reddish brown color, that is reddish brown color. Immediately, the reddish brown color of bromine disappears and solution becomes colorless. The solution becomes colorless, indicating the presence of unsaturation in the molecule. In this way, we can find out the presence of double bond or triple bond, that is unsaturation in the molecule, by using this bromine water. Now, we have to note one very important point here. Benzene also has carbon-carbon double bond. If we add bromine water, does the reddish brown color of the bromine disappears? No. No reaction takes place. No disappearance of brown color. No disappearance of reddish brown color. Why? The reason is the double bonds here in benzene, they are involved in the resonance. As in case of alkenes and alkynes, addition of bromine take place, but in case of benzene, the double bond involved in the resonance, therefore addition reaction with bromine will not take place in benzene. Therefore, Benzene will not show bromine water test. Let us solve two questions. What is the product in this reaction? If you see here, there is a double bond and here HBr is given. Therefore, the reaction take place according to Markovnik's rule, MR rule. The negative part will go to that carbon which carries less number of hydrogen atoms. So, we get product like this. H and here Br, hydrogen goes to this carbon atom. So this is the product. In second example, there is HBr and peroxide is also used. Now we can see the peroxide effect. The reaction take place according to anti-Markovnik's rule. So the negative part of the reagent goes to that carbon which carries more number of hydrogen. So we get the product like this. CH2, 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 Br. In Markovnik's rule, the reaction takes place by the formation of carbocation. We have to remember this, very important. Markovnik's rule takes place according to the formation of carbocation intermediate. Anti-Markovnik's rule takes place according to formation of free radical mechanism. Markovnik's rule takes place by the formation of carbocation. Anti-Markovnik's rule takes place by the formation of free radical. In next video, we are going to see few more methods of preparation of haloalkanes like Finkelstein reaction and Schwarz reactions. We are going to learn in detail. Thank you for watching. This is Avin. Please like, share, subscribe the video. I am thankful to YouTube and millions of YouTube viewers.